Chapter 91, Sefi. It was time to go back home. I finished my end of year exams and the summer holidays had started. And I didn't have to wait for the results to know that I'd passed all my subjects. So, as Mother had tersely pointed out, there was no reason for me not to go home, except that I really didn't want to go back. Over 2.5 years away from home, and to be honest, I had no desire whatsoever to return. I dragged my feet for 2 weeks, but August had started and Mother wasn't taking no for an answer. I'd run out of excuses. Mother and Minnie had been up to see me a few times, sometimes together, a few times apart, but somehow I'd always managed to avoid reciprocating. There was always something stopping me, a holiday with this friend, a long visit to that friend. The excuses had been trotted out one after another. Backpacking, camping, overseas expeditions, you name it, I went on them. Anything to keep me away from home, and I'd gotten away with it. But not this time. Mother was putting her foot down and insisting, so I had no choice. If I had my way, I'd been 70, not 17, going on 18, when I returned home. I hated that place. So many bad memories, too many. Carl was sent to pick me up at Chivers. On the long drive home, we barely exchanged a word once the platitudes were over. He was fine, everyone in his family was fine, I was fine, school was fine, end of conversation. It was a long drive home. Getting home was a bit of an anticlimax, too. Minnie was spending the week with one of her friends, and Mother was out on one of her rare visits to her Aunt Paulina, and had left a message on her answering machine saying that her car had broken down on the motorway, so she'd be getting home late. To be honest, not meeting up with Mother immediately was a bit of a relief. I still hadn't worked out how I was going to handle her. Should I be all sunshine and flowers and smile and take nothing seriously? Or should I be more morose and somber and take everything she said too seriously? Either way, there was no way I was going to stay put for more than a few days. I'd lined up a summer job with the law practice near to Chivers School, and I had 1 week before I was due to start. 1 week. The new term didn't start until October, and Mother was expecting me to stay for the rest of the summer break. Some hope. Welcome home, Miss Sefi. Sarah hugged me as she emerged from the study. I hugged her back. It's good to see you, Sarah. I smiled. Sarah looked around quickly. A certain someone found out that you were due home, and he left a message for you. She whipped out a folded brown envelope from her pocket and stuffed it into my hand. Without another word, Sarah disappeared back into the study. No need to ask who it was from. I recognized the handwriting on the envelope at once. My heart bounced about at the mere sight of it. What did he want after all this time? I should just put the letter in the bin. Yeah, right. In another lifetime, maybe. I tore open the carefully sealed letter and began to read. Dear Sefi, I know it's been a long time since we last met, and you probably don't even remember me anymore. But if you do, please could we meet tonight around 9 o'clock at our special place? It's very important, but I'll understand if you can't make it. 2, almost 3 years is a long time, a lifetime. See. Why did he want to see me? Why was it important? All the feelings I thought I'd bundled up and thrown away years ago came suddenly rushing through me again. Did I really want to see him again? It didn't take much intuition to realize that Callum was the one person who could upset my carefully constructed plans for what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Look at this. One letter and I was already confused and uncertain about what I should do next. No, I wouldn't do it. Callum had his life now and I had mine, and they were worlds apart. But I hadn't seen him in such a long time. And what harm could a short 10-minute meeting do? I was a big girl now, not a child anymore. I'd go and say hello, and we'd pass the time by catching up with each other's lives, and then we'd part on better terms than happened years ago. What was the harm in that? Don't go, Sefi. Where's the harm in that? Don't go. Where's the harm? Don't.